Dan and I could not have more conflicting opinions about the market right now. I just watched Dan's video about why he thinks Bitcoin will have a pullback down to about 90-something K. And then he got me with this title and this thumbnail showing a chart that looks like this. I mean, what do we do right now? Well, I'm actually going to give you both the bullish and the bearish outcomes that I think are plausible and possible, but mostly why I think a breakout is more likely to happen than a pullback. And that's all thanks to these three, where is it? Right here. These three white dots. These are TBO breakouts. TBO stands for the Trending Breakout Indicator. These white dots only happen after specific conditions, and they let us know that we should be expecting a bullish breakout to the upside. And I'm going to be sharing lots of evidence of the exact times that this has happened before, back in November 2024, February 2024, and also October 2023. All three of those moments preceding a 40% move. Now, again, I told you, couldn't have more conflicting videos at all. Like, this is ridiculous. But this is also something that's really important to take into consideration, because traders will have a bunch of different ideas and a bunch of their own individual thesis about what should happen next in the market. And that's exactly what we're going to be providing for you here today on the Coin Bureau Trading channel. My name is Aaron Dishner from the Better Traders. If you've not subscribed to this channel, do so now. Hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be going deep into some information today on the chart of Bitcoin, but also looking at Bitcoin dominance, looking at stablecoin dominance, and reasons why I think Bitcoin will continue to soar up. Well, I'll share my targets in a minute. But the reason why I am so excited about these little white dots is because I've seen these dots play out so many times ever since I've been using the TBO since, I believe, 2018. I've been using this indicator for a long time. And it's done such a good job at letting me know not just when we're going to be seeing breakouts, but when we're getting a confirmed open long, like back here for Bitcoin at 93K. And since that signal, the price of BTC is moved up about 14%. But it's not even just this signal. It's also this signal right here, one of my favorites, the TBO closed short. You saw me make a video about this weeks ago, actually last month. A month ago, which is wild, when the price of Bitcoin is here at 85,000. Again, a lot of people probably thought, no, Bitcoin's going to be tanking. But me, I was excited because I've seen this signal play out so many times before. I know how this indicator works because I've been using it for years. So seeing this signal got me super pumped. And since this signal, Bitcoin is up 24%. But it's not just this one chart for Bitcoin. We could even apply this to Ethereum. Same concept. Here again is that TBO open long. Now, we don't have such an amazing move up higher for Ethereum. It's only about 10% higher after printing and confirming the open long. But if we just trace it back down here to the TBO close short, we know that Ethereum is up 42% from this signal. And it's, again, I could go over and over and over showing you this signal as far as the earlier bullish reversal signal, the confirmed bullish reversal signal, but this is new. This is very exciting, and these TBO breakouts are actually what makes up the name, the Trending Breakout Indicator. So I understand that some of you are going to be frustrated with me as I talk about this, because this is a proprietary private indicator that's available through the Better Traders Club. But don't worry about that. I just want to share with you everything that this indicator has done in the past, what it's showing now, and what I'm expecting to have happen next. So don't worry, you don't have to get this indicator. I'm going to share all the insights that I possibly can in today's video. So you better hit that like button now. Buckle up. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to do to make this really simple is I'm going to take away everything else and just keep the TBO breakouts. So the reason why I'm doing this is because there's a lot of noise that can happen when you're looking at an indicator like the TBO. I'm leaving the cloud in, which is what I call this mask right here. It's really similar if you've ever used the Ichimoku cloud. I don't know why that's like that. Here we go, technicals. So if you've ever used the Ichimoku Cloud, it's similar in that it also has a cloud here. Bitcoin had a bullish break above this Ichimoku Cloud back over here. We have the lagging span over here also moving up. It's a strong bullish chart. Like this is a great looking chart with the Ichimoku, but the main difference that the TBO offers is a lot more information and insight, not just when we have bullish confirmation, but when we have breakouts. Again, the Trending Breakout Indicator. So let me define what a breakout is first by showing you historical examples. Example number 1. This is late October, early November, just before the Trump pump. So President Trump was not elected. He was confirmed as the 47th president of the United States back here, which resulted in a really nice initial pump of 10% for BTC. But actually, if you look over here, we saw an initial pump right here, and denoted by TBO breakouts. So we're not even going to take the price post pump right here, or actually on the third one. We'll even go off the second one right here at the top. No, actually, let's go right here too. So we're going to be focusing on the open of the day after the third TBO breakout. And we're only going to see 3 of these as per the settings of the indicator. We saw the price of BTC shoot up a total of 43% over the course of 40 days. 43% in 40 days. Now, it would be unsatisfactory. It would be lacking of me just to go, okay, cool, this is great. Now we can expect the next breakout to be 43% lasting over 40 days. It's not good enough. We need to go back further to find the previous other breakouts that we have. Now, this kind of breakout is actually my favorite right here. This is what I call a 3 in a row because it's 1, 2, 3. And notice that the price does not bullishly explode after this, which is fine. Totally fine to have basically nothing burger price action for a week, actually a week plus. We see it do nothing for about 11 days. But what eventually happens is 28 days later, it moves up 42%. Is this the only one? We're just going to keep going back further. And here we are back to 2023. We have our first confirmed TBO breakout here on October 24th. Then we have 2 more here on the 1st of November and then the 2nd of November. Awesome. So there's another one. And we're going to take our entry from the third breakout going up to the top. And lo and behold, 41%. And this move lasted a lot longer than 28 days. This one lasted 68 days. So looking at these 3 previous breakouts, ever since October, November 2023, up until the current day, we can see that we've seen breakouts go from about 41% to 43%, lasting between 20, or we'll just round up to 30 days to 70 days. Okay, now let's back up even further. The thing you're going to have to understand about going further back is that what we're looking at here is a lot of really bullish news. This is the election pump right here. This is just moon cycle. This is good vibes. This is the start of the Bitcoin spot ETF. Now, we will see TBO breakouts like this that is just a single breakout. This isn't good enough. There has to be 3 of these breakouts. So this one doesn't count. Now we have 3 right here, and this one is a failed breakout. And I want to share this with you on purpose to show you that this is not like a foolproof 100% outcome has to do whatever I'm saying it's going to do. No, this one is a failed breakout. We see the price actually fall down from here, 17% is done. It's a loser. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and put a nice X right there. We see 3 right here after the big move, and the price falls after it. It moves up initially 5%, falls down 6%, moves up 10%, and then we have the Silvergate crash or collapse, like the attack on the crypto on-ramp banks. But it does move up about 30% or so. But let's just say that this one is also no good because it resulted in a crash instead of a pump. This one is happening right after our bear market bottom, by the way. And while this is a really bullish and exciting signal, right after the bear market is a little bit of a scary time to be opening, or rather taking this TBO breakout to be super duper bullish and exciting. Did we see a bullish burst of volume? Yes. Once we saw this recover, it shot up 42%. But the breakouts happened like more than a month before that. So we have 2 that aren't so strong. right after our bear market bottom, but we have 3 right here that just hit it out of the park. Boom, boom, boom. Now we can actually go back even further because we have breakouts over here at the top of our market. So we're looking at over here, September 2021, and we see 3 TBO breakouts and it crashed. We see the price actually get smacked down and fails to break out higher. We see 3 right here, resulting in only a 20% move back here in 2021, late 2021. So again, we have another fail, but this one actually worked out well. It didn't go up as high as the ones we're looking at right now. It only went up about 20%, and it was a very short-lived move, but this is after our market euphoria. Now, the ideal breakout, the ones that I always look at, and this is one that's burned in my mind, to be honest. It's like this, namely because the TBO Cloud that's here, and it's all 4 of these moving averages, they're all moving up together. Everything is separate. And this one was the granddaddy of the breakouts right here. This one yielded the best possible entry for BTC, up 400% in this previous market. And this one also lasted an insanely long time. So this is also a more immature market. Yes, we have other breakouts here. We have other breakouts here. And then before that, we're looking at breakouts back here in 2019. So the further back we go, the less reliable it's going to be honest. And I want to focus more on the shape of the cloud and also what we're going to be seeing on the weekly time frame. So we can see we got 1 win, 1 loss, 2 wins, loss. So then we're going win, win, win. So we're seeing more profitable outcomes since 2020 than unprofitable outcomes. So I'm taking that into account looking at this current one right now. So again, we have a really nice setup for a TBO breakout. So now let's talk about the cloud. Again, talking about the Ichimoku cloud, the shape of the Ichimoku cloud really determines where price should be moving up next. Now, when we're looking at this chart over here, or rather this time frame for Bitcoin back in 2024 October and into November, we were looking at a transitionary period for the cloud. If I take away and hide the price right here, you can see that the cloud was red before, which means it's bearish. Then it was turning gray, which means it's going to be transitioning into a bullish cloud. It's going to be changing that vibe or that sentiment from bearish to bullish. That's actually more similar to where we are right now in the current day. We were bearish, now it's gray, and now it's becoming much more bullish, which is interesting. And we will look back over here, we can see that this is a really, really nice one because all 4 lines are separately moving up higher. This is a great one right here. This one as well, notice the cloud, similar idea. We were bearish, and then we got the breakouts after the move, and then we see finally all 4 lines are slowly starting to move up independently. Again, this is a really nice move, but it happened after a transitionary period. When it was bearish, then it moved to a bullish move. So looking at the current price, even though it's not the ideal situation where all 4 lines are moving up together, I still think that this is a valid move. And there's actually more that I want to share with you, but I need to direct your attention down below because we're talking about trading. We're talking about Bitcoin breaking out. We're talking about Bitcoin actually going to be going a lot higher. And if you're not prepared to trade a move like this, you're going to be missing out. I'm not trying to cause FOMO, but I'm trying to also give you my realistic expectations about what's happening next. And the best way to prepare yourself is with the tools and the resources that are linked down below in the description, starting with some non-KYC exchanges, CoinCatch and 2Bit. If you sign up with our link for CoinCatch, you're actually going to get a bonus. This is a non-KYC requiring exchange that services people I'm in Japan, but also North America and Canada and the United States. And you can use leverage safely. You don't have to go like crazy 50x, 150x or anything like that, but you can leverage trade on CoinCatch and 2Bit. Bybit, of course, is a good old standard exchange. I use Bybit all the time for both leverage and spot trading. You also get bonuses bonuses. Bonuses when you sign up with our link. And there are also way more deals on the Coin Bureau website. If you go to the Coin Bureau website, you go to the deals tab, you'll see a link to join the Coin Bureau Club, which is a Discord server with tons of information that Dan, my co-host, is sharing, as well as Guy and Nick from the main Coin Bureau channel. There are other exchanges and tools. Plus, there's a 10% off discount to our course, 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom from the Better Traders. Now, I say this because this course includes a trial of the TBO indicator, which we're talking about in this video today. So if you're like, I really do want to try this TBO, you can get access to the course, and therefore you get access to the TBO. So now I want to go back over here to talk about a couple of other things that are really, really, really exciting and interesting about similarities with the current price action for BTC. Let me go ahead and just hide all these real quick. There we go. So I want to reset everything here on the TBO because I want to pay attention to something else. And that's this big red line right here. This big red line is what we call TBO resistance. So the Trending Breakouts resistance. This is automatically applied to the charts. And even though this is not current resistance, which has fallen down right here, this is what I call historical resistance. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's interesting to note that the price on Sunday wasn't able to push above 106,422. Yesterday, it did wick a little bit higher than that at 107. Today, it's struggling yet again to push above this. Does this mean that Bitcoin is going to dump from here? Is this the ultimate super duper strong resistance? Well, before I answer that, I actually want to show you how these breakouts performed historically. Looking back over here, this period of March to November, we can also see several of these TBO resistance levels all kind of clumped together. This is not one long line. It's a lot of little lines here at 70K, here at 71, here at 67. But we can see that the TBO breakouts happen right around this level of resistance. And the outcome, of course, we all know it shot up a lot higher. So we saw TBO breakouts happen right at historical resistance. It's kind of interesting. Does this also work out with the last one? Well, let's see. We have TBO resistance right here, this red line, and we see our breakouts happen just above it and it pushes up higher. Does that work out over here? Well, funny enough, we have the same long TBO resistance levels here and here, and the breakouts happen just above it after it pushes up higher, letting us know that we're going to see a bullish upside continuation move. We even see it happen over here. We even see it happen right here and right here because there's our support level. So this is a pretty typical thing to have happen, meaning that I don't necessarily take our current price action struggling to push above historical TBO resistance as a bearish thing. If anything, this fits the bill. This is exactly what has happened so many times before. So does that mean that we're going to move up higher? I personally believe that we are. And how much higher do I think we could go? Well, looking at this, looking at the last ones that we've seen, 41%, 42%, 43%. Well, looking at that, I would assume that a move of 40% after the third TBO breakout, which is going to be measured from the open for today, of 40%, right on the nose, puts it at basically just under $150,000. Like I said, this couldn't be more wildly different than Dan's video from yesterday, but I think it's fun to have contrasting opinions about what could happen in the market. So again, I'm basing this off of these previous three breakouts that have yielded pretty nice breakouts. But let's just go one step farther and to apply a more scientific method, I guess you could say, about where the markets could go next. And for that, I'm going to use fibs. I'm going to use the Fibonacci tool over here, and we're going to use this, and we're going to draw it from our high to our low to give us just an idea of how well this worked in the previous pump. So back over here in October, we saw a huge push of the price well above the 1272, and it literally just skyrocketed above this. It was an easy target to hit the 618, and this actually happened well after the price moved above the 786. So we saw it shoot up super duper high, but that's important. I want you to remember that time frame, okay? Looking at this one is a little bit harder because it's a much shorter, smaller move. But look at where these breakouts happen. Right below the 1, we see the price struggle at the 272. And keep in mind, back over here, this is when BTC was in price exploration mode. This is where things are really exciting. And they're exciting because we don't know where price could go next. And this is where Fibonacci extensions really help us out. Check it out. Now that we are seeing the price breaking out here, we can see how it behaves and struggles to push above the 1272. Pay attention to that. Now, of course, we all know what happens. It absolutely demolishes both the 272 and the 618 and goes way higher, okay? Now, I want to go ahead and look at the next breakout. That's going to be back over here. And I'm going to go ahead and hide these two. We're going to go to the fibs from March 2024 to the current day. And we're going to go ahead and do bar replay again. And this is going to give us a better picture of what we can expect moving forward. Now, same idea. Now, the reason I like this better is because this measurement is happening over a much longer period of time. This is the March 2024 high to the August 5th low, 2024. And we see breakouts happening below the 1, below our full retracement back to 73K. And then watch this. We're going to see the price hit. We're going to see it hit and blow through 82K, and it struggles to push above 1618. And there is where it starts to falter. Even though it goes up to 109K, look at how many times it comes back to 1.618. You get what I'm saying? So we're going to use that same concept moving forward. We're going to be looking at this range from our high in January 2025 to our low here in April 2025. So we have our TBO breakouts happening just above our 786, right below the 1, similar to the other scenarios we've seen before. So we're looking at two targets. The first target is $121,000, and the next one is $139,000. So if the last breakouts have yielded returns of about 40%, this move up 15% should be pretty easy. And this move right up here to the 618 is only 30%. So if we're going to see an exact copy pasta of the previous breakouts, 40% puts us right up there. And again, we saw back over here how the price really didn't struggle very much at all, right here, with this 618 level. It actually pushed above it. It actually pushed above by about 12%. Gasp. If we go 12% above this, well, that puts us up here to about 156. So the idea that I'm sharing right here is I think that we could see Bitcoin actually exceed 139K to go up to more like 150K. And a lot of people aren't expecting this. So I know this is kind of a crazy, bold claim, but again, I've been using this indicator for a long time. But it would be foolish of us just to use this one indicator to go, aha, well, this is my only thesis is based off of this one thing. Do we have any other things that are helping us with our thesis right now? And I would say, yes, actually, the weekly time frame totally, with the TBO on the weekly, it totally agrees with us. Back over here, our pump, remember our first date, October 2023, look at the pump right at resistance and it shoots right up higher. And then we saw March go up a lot higher. We see another push win in early November right above resistance. And look at the price right now. It's struggling right at resistance, just like it was back here, just like it was back here. This major move was 140%. This move was 53%. And again, I think a 50% move, even 40% is easy for BTC right here. The other reason why I'm not expecting a pullback is that the slow line right here of the TBO is pointing up. That means that it is macro bullish. And I know I talk TBO a lot. I get it. So let's put in an MA. Let's just put in a moving average simple. And let's just use a 9 period. No, on the weekly, we have to go longer. Let's do something like a 50 SMA on the weekly. Well, with a 50 SMA on the weekly, what's the direction? It's up. If we went even longer to like 100 SMA, what's the direction? It's up. So I'm not looking at this going, well, I see a reason for Bitcoin to crash from here. I don't. Let's use the Ichimoku cloud. And I have to go over here to technicals. There we go. Same thing before, right? There's no difference. Is the price above the cloud? Yes, it is. Is the lagging span above the price? Yes, it is. Is it above the immediate cloud? Yes, it is. It's strong bullish. It's strong bullish on the weekly with the Ichimoku. It's strong bullish with the moving average. It's strong bullish with the TBO. Is it struggling at resistance right now? Yeah, just like it was back over here, just like it was back over here. I want to give you more evidence of why I think it's going to be going up higher. Weekly RSI is above 70. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you should know that this is a very strong bullish continuation signal. I expect weekly RSI to actually move up higher, close to about 88 or maybe 85 on the weekly time frame. That means that Bitcoin at that point, when it gets that high, BTC will be way up here. I also suspect, and I don't have the evidence to prove it just yet, but I also suspect from a psychological perspective that there are many traders out here shorting this. Seeing the price close to resistance, a lot of traders are going to be taking out short positions on BTC's price, expecting the price to go lower, when in reality, I'm expecting a breakout to the upside. And what happens when short sellers are forced to close their positions? They're forcing their positions closed, well, the exchange does, because their loss equals the margin. Then the exchange forces their position to be closed, which is going to be a market buy, which will push the price up higher and higher. This is a dangerous spot to be shorting, in my opinion, and I do think the price is going to be going higher. But what does that mean for Bitcoin dominance? So this is a great question, and this is actually a little bit of a not fun part. I do expect Bitcoin to go up higher, but how has Bitcoin dominance performed every single time that BTC had one of these breakout clusters? So let's start first with the 6th of November. So if we go back over here to the 6th of November, we can see that Bitcoin dominance, at first, it actually did a little bit of a and then it fell. It plunged because we saw a lot of the market pivot to alts. We saw a really nice little short-term alt season. But we see the TBO slow line going up higher, which means that the macro trend is bullish. And it's not just on the daily, it's on the weekly, big time. This is something to really pay attention to. Okay, well, let's go back to the other breakouts that we saw back over here. We saw a breakout cluster here on the 12th of February. We also saw it over here in late October. So let's go back over here, late February. Here we go. And then also October, September, October. So what do we see both of these times? Again, similar locations as the other breakouts. Initially, we see a big push up higher for Bitcoin dominance, and then it pulls back. We have a lot of chop that's happening. But the macro trend, even during this time, was up. It continued to be up, even though we saw lots of whippiness here for Bitcoin dominance. The main thing I'm looking at and I'm expecting is maybe there will be short-term moves. Maybe we will see a short-term move for alts to go up higher. We might see a change or a shift in dominance towards alts. But ultimately, I'm still looking at an extremely strong Bitcoin dominance chart, which I really don't want to see. I really want to see this fall lower, just like a lot of you do, because when Bitcoin dominance falls in parallel or in tandem with stablecoin dominance, people are happy. So let's superimpose the same concept over here with this Bitcoin breakout, because if Bitcoin is breaking out, that means price is going up higher. That means the market's following and chasing, which means that stablecoins should be decreasing in the market cap. Is that what happened? Well, let's go back over here to November. Lo and behold, in November, we saw the inverse right over here, TBO breakdowns. And we also saw from this point that the stablecoin dominance chart fell a total of 22% over that bullish pump. Did that also happen back over here in March? Guess what? It did. We saw the inverse relationship here for stablecoin dominance, which fell about 24%. Let's go back further. Oh, look over here, October 2023, same thing. So this is the next sign that I'm really looking forward to, because when I see that stablecoin dominance is printing these TBO breakdowns, which is the opposite of a breakout, this is going to give me the bullish confirmation I need. And I don't have any of these yet. Keyword, yet. But looking at the last times this happened, the setup is the exact same. TBO close longs, open short, price goes below the cloud, breakdowns. Close long, open short, price goes below the cloud, breakdown. The same thing. Open short, price goes below the cloud, breakdown. Close longs, open short, below the cloud, breakdown. So the last thing I'm really waiting on for this chart is to see some of these breakdowns appear on the daily time frame, and we're not there yet. You're probably wondering about Ethereum dominance. Ethereum dominance really follows the price of Ethereum, in my opinion. And it's finally pushing up higher, especially since we saw this big burst on May 8th. It's up 26%. Now, Ethereum dominance is a really finicky chart, and I don't like it whatsoever because it's just been such a really terrible chart for such a long time. The weekly is actually a better chart. And it should be noted that it actually fell down to support all the way down here. It fully retraced. Now that we know that dominance is up 28%, we're seeing the market allocate more to Ethereum, but I don't personally see any reason for Ethereum to pump wildly, even with Bitcoin on the verge of having this massive breakout. But what I will tell you is, just like I've talked about on this channel many times, there is the multiple factor effect. And that means that whatever Bitcoin does, we're going to see a multiple of growth for alts. And if we quickly look at alts right now, the moment Bitcoin gets the littlest bit of green, we're going to see coins outperforming by 1.2 times to 2.5 or even 3 times whatever Bitcoin does. Right now, Bitcoin's less than 1% up, but Solana is up to 2.24%. We're seeing other coins like Link that are up, but they're still massively oversold. The main thing that I am getting the most excited about with the potential of this breakout, and again, Bitcoin targeting a move up here of 40%, which is going to throw a lot of people by surprise, going up here to like 150K. The main things that will happen is that once Bitcoin pumps, alts will have a really difficult time catching up initially. But once Bitcoin pumps and it kind of pauses and stays sideways, that's when we're going to see alts outperform BTC. We're going to see a lot of these oversold alts like Link, like Pepe, like memes, all these RWA coins, all these AI coins, like everything is going to pump crazy, just like we saw in November, just like we saw in February to March of 2024, just like we saw in October 2023. Bitcoin always leads the charge first. And if we're looking, or rather expecting Bitcoin to grow by 40%, we should expect alts to pump 60, 80, maybe even 120% from here. Now, I know that this is a lot of information to take in, and I imagine a lot of you might have questions about this, so feel free to leave your comments or questions down below this video. And I talked about this thing called the multiple factor effect. I want you to watch that video next, because this is going to be the best video to prepare you for what's going to be happening to alts when we see Bitcoin break out and start moving up into price discovery zone. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.